Hey, Newbridge. We hope that you can join us for a live service. If you're not ready to do that, and the guidelines and children and just so many other reasons to not come to a service, we totally understand. We're still going to be putting everything online on Sunday. But if you are really ready to come to a service, we finally get to have one. But before we do, I want to walk you through a few things that we're going to do a little bit different and that might be a surprise. And I understand in doing this, we're not going to make everyone happy. You just can't. But here's, after much praying, after much talking, after even more praying, here's where we're settling. We're choosing right now to comply with the guidance of local authorities. What they have done, what they've set in place, social distancing, mask wearing, all those things, we're going forward with that. And while we do this and while we try to host a live service and comply with the new guidelines, we're asking you for a ton of grace. We are going to need it because there's going to be times where we try something and it doesn't work. There's going to be times where we take a step forward and then have to take a step backwards. Today, we're filming this on Thursday, and I know that our governor is talking about maybe putting in an at-home order again. So we might just waste 5 minutes of your time with this video. I don't know what's going to happen, but here's where we're trying to move forward. Now, in opening our doors for a service, it's not like pre-COVID. There's a few things I want to make you aware of, okay? I have a short list. Number one, first of all, our service isn't even going to be on Sunday. It's going to be on Thursday nights. Second, if you just want to show up, you might not be able to do that either. We're asking you to sign up for this on Eventbrite so that we can keep track of who is here, but also so that we can make sure we adhere to social distancing and we don't max capacity and all those other things. You can find a link for that in the description below and on our website and probably everywhere. So there's always that. Third, we're asking you to bring your own chair or blanket or pillows to sit on. We're asking you to do that so that we don't have to keep cleaning every single chair that is sat on. We're asking you to do that so that we can adhere to social distancing a little bit easier. Your germs are already on your stuff. You just keep them there. Don't put them on our stuff. 4, and this is a big one, Kids Bridge and youth aren't going to be happening on Thursday nights. So if you bring your kids with you, they'll be with you the whole time. A big thing to consider in that is the 5th thing on my list. This service is going to be filmed to be put online on Sunday. So if you're like, my kids can totally make it through a service, can they make it through a service quietly? Like if your kid can't sit through 40 minutes of sermon without running around, without yelling, without crying, without poking their little brother in the eye and it causing a scene, continue to enjoy the service as a family from home. That would be wonderful. This is why we're putting it online. If your kid can make it through, great. If you think your kid can make it through and try, we are going to have a ton of grace for you. Just know your screaming kid is probably going to be on camera. That's what it is. I know my kids couldn't make it. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And when they get in the sanctuary or in the auditorium and it is empty, they think it's a racetrack and that everyone in that room is there to cheer them on. It doesn't work. They won't be coming. Yes. Number 6, please wear a mask the whole time. Yes, even during singing, wear a mask. Especially during singing, wear a mask, okay? When we sing, we don't just project our voices, we also project droplets, like droplets of spit from our mouth out. And it's not just like a 6-foot social distance at that time, it's like a big projection of droplets. If you are like, I don't know if that's legit, watch Hamilton. It's on Disney Plus. The first song of King George, that guy sings, and I swear, he is like spitting 20 feet out into the audience. It's disgusting and crazy. So, that is about it. That's about it for my list. But there is one thing I want to say about this mask. In this mask wearing, if you have like mask anxiety, which is a real thing, you have to like take your mask off. You just can't do it. Please exit the room, come outside, get a deep breath of fresh air. When you're ready, put your mask back on, go back inside, or even watch from the cafe on the TVs right there, and then you can see people and still be part and still be here. And I know this is all kind of confusing, especially with my list, so I think it might be easier to just show you. Check it out. Okay, so you show up to church and you walk in the front. Here it is. Notice, this is the main entrance now. You walk in and you will probably be socially distanced greeted by someone. Now, when I say socially distanced greeted, what I mean is like, hey, great to see you. There's not going to be a fist bump or a handshake, okay? Those break social distance guidelines. If your love language is hugs, may I suggest an emotional support teddy bear for you to hug, because that really breaks social distance guidelines. So if you keep going, there's arrows to point you where you need to go. If you're unfamiliar with the building, these arrows are going to be so helpful for you. I'll tell you right where to go. And if you get lost along the way, it'll point you back to your car. Just keep following the arrows. So if you forgot to go to the bathroom before you showed up at service, surprise! Limit 2 people at a time, okay? If you see 2 people walk into the bathroom and you gotta go, like you decided to try Jack in the Box new mini tacos, you gotta go. You gotta run to the other side, follow the arrows, rethink your life choices on the way, and pray no one else is in that bathroom. These will lead you right there. As you continue following the arrows into the main room, notice this big arrow on the ground. There's a huge arrow here. Do you know what that means? Go this way. Not this way. Go this way into the room. This is an entrance, not an exit now. If you need to exit the room, there are more of those, lots of other spaces. There's an exit up there and over there. There's arrows everywhere. As you walk in, you see there's tons of space in this room. Oh, it's so open. There's not a chair in sight. That's because you get to bring your own chair and set it up and socially distance yourself from other people. Of course, you don't have to socially distance from your own family, but also check it out. There's this big tape mark here. This big tape mark is the filming area. If you are in this, you're in the shot now. Congratulations, you made it into a Sunday service. Watch out for that. Don't set up your chair in this. If you have to leave for some reason during the service, walk around the tape line. Don't just be like, oh, sorry. Don't do that. Come on. Also, up front, if you just miss church and you're like, one of the things I miss about church is like the shine on Mark's head, so I want to be close. There's a tape mark here. Don't set your chair up too close. Okay? Give Mark some space to spit. This might be a splash zone. So for your own mental safety and physical safety, just sit behind the tape line. Another thing, if you're coming to church service and you're thinking we're going to have communion together, actually that's going to be something we're going to not do as a group, but we're going to continue to do online. I want to show you where some of these arrows lead, because they do lead you out. It just might be a little bit roundabout. So check this out. You walk up here, here's an arrow pointing to the back, an arrow pointing to the back. But let's say, you know what, there's someone over there that I need to socially distance talk with. So you walk over here, more arrows pointing you where you need to go. How lovely and thoughtful of everyone who did this. I'm technically breaking the flow of traffic right now. Don't do this. But there's another exit right here, and you decide this is the closest bathroom. I'll go this way. Great. Watch where this leads you. Look, more arrows pointing us the way we can go. And you know what? I haven't been around people in a long time, and I don't want to see anyone else. I'm going to follow this arrow out the door. Ah, sweet, sweet freedom. Meeting together requires sacrifice. It requires that we adhere to some of these new rules and guidelines. And I know that it's difficult. It's difficult to be in this building and not just run and hug people that we haven't seen in a long time. But I'm asking you to join us in adhering to these guidelines. And if you're one of those people who is like, you know what, you're not going to tell me to wear a mask, you're not going to tell me to social distance, you're not going to tell me to do any of that, okay. Help us as a church and us as your church not get fined. Please, please help us in that. We love you. We care about you, about meeting together. There's something special about meeting together. We can't wait to see you again. And I take comfort, not in the fact that we're meeting together, not in our masks, not in our guidelines. I take comfort in the fact that Jesus is still on the throne and is changing and redeeming us every day.